Hello, the channel. Welcome back. As I always say, really need to get a new tagline at some point. Surely as wearing off after about 117 videos or whatever, but there we go. We're just going to be doing what we usually do: lineup building, talking about Celtic, etc. We'll have a wee check in on the Mbappe unique auction as well. As long as he's selling for loads of money, it doesn't matter if the contender cards are worth fuck all. Anyway, that's my rant out the way for the start of the video. Don't mean that, I'm just joking. Honest. So yeah, let's have a look. We'll have a look at the spreadsheet as well. So move myself out the way again. So Celtic, pretty decent fixture this weekend. Big Joe Hart's retiring, so and that's nothing to do with percentages, but he's retiring. So 12 games left, I think. So there we go. If anybody's kind of new to Sorare, that means that the end of the season he's worth nothing. that's probably a bit simplistic as well. Good old collections and all that sort of stuff. But there we go. So Joe Hart, 95%. Probably should make him 100% after announcing he's retiring, but nobody's ever 100%, I suppose. Greg Taylor, left back. Bernabei's shite. So yeah. Sorry, I'm just in that mood tonight, like to explain the percentages. Like just the other guy's shit, so he's not going to play. Liam Scales, 95%. Fans have been getting on his back a wee bit, but his stats have been pretty good this season. You see he's with his Sorare scores as well, averaging 70, which is really good as well. Stephen Welsh I've still got in. Now Vickers is back in training apparently. Not actually seen him in training. Apparently he was in light training from last week. I really don't. If Vickers does start, if he's back, then that's great. But he won't play the full game anyway. So there we go. I would avoid that position if you can. Right back, the same. So Alistair Johnson was scheduled to be back in training this week. Again, got a midweek game coming up against Dundee at home as well. Ralston's been playing okay. So it's a pretty tough one to call, position to avoid. McGregor and O'Reilly will not really much to call there. Unless they're injured, then they're going to start. Matt O'Reilly's form's been pretty disappointing. I don't know if this thing with the Atletico Madrid transfer or proposed transfers get into his head any, but he's can hit a cow's arse with a banjo after the winter break. So let's hope he's actually playing well. I do laugh about Joe Hart and stuff, but sometimes this kind of thing, Joe's retiring and all that can maybe spur the players on. So hoping for an increase in form. I think 8 wins, 2 draws in the last 10 games, but behind Rangers now, and just not good enough, not playing well enough, no doubt about it. Furuhashi, so that's a kind of new position for him. Depends whether Ida starts as well. I quite like Bedi Ida. I think he's got something about him. He's got a different style of play to the other sort of options Celtic have got in that area. O can play up there as well, but I think Ida probably better as a sort of link-up type player, but it certainly is taking a bit of the sort of pressure off Furuhashi up there, or getting Furuhashi maybe dropping in and involved in the game. So you'll see his last couple of scores have been better. Palm at 50%. I think Palm will start. I'm going to use him. You'll see him in my lineups. The 50% just reflects the fact that he did get taken off at half time the last time. He's missed a few games recently. His form's not very good. He missed a few penalties and things, so he's ended up off penalties. It's just a rough spell for him. I do expect him to do better, and I think he's capable of better. Maeda at 75% as well. The other option in here is Kuhn, and I've got Yang in there as well. So, there's a variety of things that Celtic could do there. Last performance wasn't very good, although unlocking Furuhashi playing a bit better has been one of the key things, and also getting guys like Vickers, Taylor, Johnston back helps as well. So there we go. So the game is on Sunday. It's kind of early-ish kick-off thing, 12 o'clock, yep. So let's hope we're not all greeting by 2 p.m. There's been a problem. Well, surely I've not pressed the wrong buttons again. Right, so let's have a look at the team fixtures. So if anyone's kind of new to this is not my spreadsheet. I'm not taking the compliments for it. It's from Miguel. Sorry, our probabilities. Usually tag him on Twitter, s_probabilities, and this is a really good facility which you're using. It helps me picking my teams. If you want a trial, give him a shout. So First thing to look at is the overall fixtures. So I've got this sorted by expected team goals if you're kind of new to this. Clean sheet percentage is shown on the left hand side. So Benfica are really wonderful fixture, wonderful human beings, some people say. They're playing tonight, Cockshoe, etc. on the bench, so that's kind of interesting. He's probably pretty sure to start at the weekend after being sort of rotated or not not getting in the team for this European game. So yeah, that could be a good one for guys like that. Fenerbahce, excellent this season. Very good team, scoring goals. Tadic back on penalties now as well. So 3 expected team goals really quite high, to be honest. So, that's a good fixture. Red Bull Salzburg, so that they've got probably one of the standout fixtures. 62% clean sheet percentage, really, really high. And nearly 3 team goals or 2.75. Not really been that impressed with Salzburg this season. They're pretty average, but there we go. PSV have been brilliant. Some doubts. Buscaglia a bit of a doubt. Went off, I think, a little bit of cramp at the end, etc. Leverkusen, definitely going to be using some Leverkusen players. Great form. Bayern have done a Spursy. So there we go. Dortmund, 31% clean sheet percentage. That is horrendous. I don't know how Schlotterbeck does his scores, honestly, because Dortmund are just so bad at keeping clean sheets. But there we go. 2.42% expected goals. So interesting. Rangers against Hearts. Come on. The HEARTS. Get a result. That would be good. Feyenoord. Rangers don't have any cards anyway, by the way. So anyway, we'll on Shankland. Hopefully we'll score. I don't even have Shankland. Feyenoord against Almere. That's a pretty good fixture for Feyenoord as well. Again, Feyenoord are playing tonight. So it's kind of tough one. You've got to have a look and check these other sort of European games, what's happening, people, rotation risk. Celtic, we've discussed. We've not really scored as many goals this season. So, Motherwell are a pretty good team on their day and they're at home. But maybe that will suit Celtic a wee bit more. I don't know. Let's see. But still nearly 50% clean sheet percentage, which is still pretty high. Real Madrid, pretty good game for them. I think they'll actually, attacking wise, get a good chance of doing well against Sevilla. Sevilla have not been the best this season, but you just never know. Big Sergio Ramos might perform heroically. And nothing much else stands out there. Man City, not the best fixture, but you'll see what happens. We've got the MLS back. I was going to change it to clean sheet percentages and then joke that we'll get all the MLS teams up there, but probably more likely to see them down the bottom. But yeah, it's great to have the MLS back. Hopefully we get the card soon as well. Istra against Rudez. So, basically that's the strategy in Croatian teams, like who's playing Rudez, like same as who's playing Sheffield United at the moment. So that's an interesting one. You've got maybe Maricic, Maricic, pretty good in defence as well. Quite like him. Juventus, pretty good clean sheet percentage there as well. Sporting, again they're playing, and St Mirren against St Johnstone. That's definitely relevant to me having Zach Hemming. So my players, again I'm focusing on my own players here. I had this set, I was actually doing stuff earlier, so kind of a wee bit short of time tonight. Been pretty busy recently. You can see from the gallery and stuff, but I've actually pre-picked some selections and stuff here as well, so we'll have a quick sifty through and then I can explain obviously why I've picked them and stuff. So Zach Hemming, the highest actual projection. So what I'm looking at here is PS, projected score, so that's taking into account clean sheet percentages, opponents, that type of stuff. I know that Courtois has done his ligament, thanks for reminding me, spreadsheet. License really good this season. Trubin always seems to be around about at least 60. Projected Jungdal, pretty good. Hradecki as well. Ramiro Macagno, been really good too. One that stuck out here, Saivan Vermeskirchen, if that's how you say his name. He's moved back to Frontale, so I don't know if he's actually nailed to be the right back there or whatever, but he's a pretty good one for like the specialist thing or whatever, last 15, 36. 97 is about as high as you're going to see actually. Well, it does go to 100, so that's rubbish, but there we go, shut up. Buscaglia, injury risk. Vickers, injury risk. Yawn. Eduardo, big Eduardo's really good. Adrian Monfrey, been superb for me, and he's going to be in contender soon as well. There's a turn up for the books. Liam Scales, always pretty high up there. Dan Fullen's an interesting one. not under 23s now, but a good young defender. I think he's 24, 25, maybe he's 24. He went away to Italy. He's now back at Mechelen and pretty good player. If you look at his score, been pretty good. Anything above 60 here is actually a pretty good fixture, I would say. Maxence Kakri stands out there. Tom Hay as well. Just kind of back in the team. And we've got some Celtic players above 60. Bruno Fernandes. No real surprise there. Carles Gil. Kevin De Bruyne. I think De Bruyne probably should be back for this game, so I kind of had his rest. Sarui as well. Griezmann thinks injured. Anyway, just kind of bad luck with big cards. Those big cards, but obviously, like, if you've got super rares, you can't just say, I'm just going to spend another $3,000 this weekend for a replacement, like. Anyway, against Almeria as well, that's really annoying. Hiding it well, isn't it? Luis Suarez, I don't know if he's got any knees left at this point, but he's still playing, got an assist during the week, so maybe a wee bit more of a risk in terms of starting at the weekend. Quick game, Messi. Can you say about the guy? He's even dinking the ball over injured players to try to score. What a guy. Adam Ida pretty high up there, so I do think Ida should start, touchwood. I've got him in my lineups. Vinicius Junior, I think should do pretty well against Sevilla as well. And nothing really else sticking out there. Julian Alvarez is interesting because you kind of regard Man City as injury risks and all that sort of stuff. Injury risks, rotation risks, Pep Roulette. But I think he started like pretty much every EPL game this season, so it's like sod's law, he'll definitely not start now. Anyway, I'm going to use him somewhere, there's not really much choice. So I've already picked these lineups. As I say, I'm just trying to just cut it down a wee bit just now. A lot of work going on in the gallery and everything, and once we get to the end of this, we'll see where Mbappe's at. I won't be bidding, don't worry, the wife's not about to divorce me. So Celtic run Challenger Europe Super Rare. Could run this in All-Star, but going to run it in Challenger. Things like PSV and Feyenoord and stuff, probably a wee bit of rotation and stuff there. Celtic really do need good result. Furuhashi were a bit better recently as well, so that kind of makes sense, I think, again, in terms of captain. Scales, I mean, I don't really fancy the clean sheet as much this game, in all honesty. Motherwell, pretty good outfit, so if we do get the clean sheet, I'll probably eat my words. Under 23 Super Rare, so I'm going to go in here as well. Kind of interesting one going O'Reilly and Ida. I think that they could maybe combine in this game. I don't know. I mean, just kind of Celtic are due to actually have a game where they score a few goals. So I know that's not a strategy per se, but just watching the team feels like we're just missing a spark, and that can come. Valentin Gomez, really like using him, to be honest. Really good, big young defender. I think he'll move on to another league at some point as well. And Julian Alvarez, so pretty happy with that strong Diouf against Le Havre. I'm actually kind of probably thinking of moving Diouf on. It's nothing to do with how he's playing or whatever, although I think his form could be slightly better, but he is aging out of the under 23s and I want to kind of focus on that. So still a good champion Super Rare goalkeeper, pretty valuable, but I might try and move him on if anybody's interested in making me a cash offer. All-Star Super Rare, Macagno, Monfrey, Canales, Lozano and Furuhashi unique. I'll need to check whether Canales is projected to play. I've not managed to check playsharper there, but Monfrey's pretty high projected score as well, usually is. Cap 240 Super Rare, just kind of went for the lowest target here. I don't really fancy it that much, to be honest. I mean, Nashville are at home, but New York are a pretty decent team as well, so there we go. Under 23 Rare Plus, so Zach Kevin was the highest expected rating of the defenders. Schlotterbeck, pretty obvious one, particularly at home as well. Hope Bayern, Dortmund don't really rotate after the European game, but the European game is a bit different this time. It used to be back-to-back games, like next midweek, and a lot of these teams don't have a game next midweek, which means that they can play again at the weekend and get a wee bit of rest. Rico Puig, Miami are pretty good, but they do leak goals, so I think that'll be an interesting one. Now, although they've got some experience in the middle, Puig, I think could get some space in that game. Sarui, he's really a standout in the spreadsheet, so I'm going to go with him. Sort of got out there and can put up big scores. Really good dribbler. Nicholas Madsen has been excellent recently, so one to usually rely on. Trubin Silva. Silva started tonight. He's more of a rotation risk, but yeah, it's kind of speaking to somebody earlier or just on Twitter. I'm just thinking got to try and pick the optimal sort of lineup these days. I know it's risk, obviously, in DMPs and all that sort of stuff, but there's always that risk there. And if you just pick safer picks, then it's quite competitive. Kakary really is, we've seen there as a standout. Vinicius Junior and Geertruida again as a bit of a sort of rotation risk after Feyenoord playing later, but he does usually start when he's fit. Hradecki and Frimkong, so I think Bayern and Leverkusen are kind of pretty standout fixture defensive wise. So it's about 4 each or something now. Chris Furic having a pretty good season, really exciting player, I like him. Well capable of doing the big score. Schlotterbeck captain, and putting Taki in here. I mean, one thing this weekend is obviously the Liverpool Cup final and stuff, so missing some options no potential Salah, or Griezmann's injured and all that sort of stuff. But yes, I still pretty like that. I think that's a really, really good sort of lineup. What else do we want to have a look at? All-Star Plus. So Trubin, this is a bit of a kind of just pick one good player from each, not really going for a stack. I think that All-Star kind of is going like that just now till it's abolished rudely from Sorare. Trubin, good fixture. Eduardo puts up some really wild big scores. Declan Rice, touchwood, doesn't really get rotated much. Kind of plays that foot in midfield. But he's been picking up some assists recently, and Arsenal have been pretty good form. Messi, pick Messi, hit the captain button. Pretty straightforward decision there. And Sebastian Szymanski, pretty good fixture. Did come off at half time, I think, the last time, but it just wasn't ever a good game or whatever. But I don't think there's any real injury risk. I'll double check that thing tomorrow. Other interesting lineups we've got here. So All-Star Rare with Lyson, Buscaglia in here, so it could be a kind of waste of a team. I may well decide to switch this out actually, just because of the it's such a good team. So we're a bit heartbreaking if these guys will do 80 and 90 and stuff, and then you don't win a card. But as I say, try to pick for peak kind of scores and stuff, and it's hard to leave Buscaglia out. He's just so good. Cap to 40, managed to get Phil Foden in there. Gile, I think is going to start. They're saying that he's going to do that under 20 minutes or whatever, some sort of mad rule that they've got there. And then Celtic, so we'll pick a couple of Celtic teams here. So Joe Hart, Scales, O'Reilly, Furuhashi and Palma. Go with the double forward, mainly because Furuhashi a bit more AA now, and think that, it could be a game where Celtic have been pretty good recently for clean sheets, so, but kind of due a game where we score a few goals. So turning to the sort of limited side of things, etc. I have actually picked this team as well, the Jersey Lovers one. This is a pretty fun competition, so you've got to have 2 under 40 average for the last 15. 2 guys who are not more than 60 average, and then you're only allowed 1 player with more than a 60 average. So going for Philip Jorgensen in goals, kind of between him and Horvath. Tolo Arokodare, I can't even say it. Big Tolo, 40 average, but he's been playing up front for Genk and scored the last couple of games. Picked Alan Montez, scoring pretty well, under 60 average, but his recent average has been higher than that. Dusan Tadic, and I picked Dan Fulham, so I think he's been scoring very well. By this point, this is not a competition I'm highly prioritising, but a really fun one, and be good to sort of pick that up as well. So, in terms of challenger for Celtic, so again, this just going to be picking from the Celtic selections on theme. So Joe Hart, pretty straightforward decision. I think Scales is probably the safest defender this weekend as well. Scales, Taylor, Vickers and Johnson are just big risks. Midfield wise, so Callum McGregor, Matt O'Reilly. I do think that O'Reilly's due a big game. If Palma doesn't start for some reason, you get a wee bit of insurance there where O'Reilly takes set pieces and everything as well. I'm going to go with Palma. I just think in Challenger and stuff, you've got to pick the actual peak team. So it's no use to say, I just play Maeda because I think he'll start. It's not really been scoring very well, so it is what it is. And then I think also still going to go for Furuhashi up front here. Awesome collection bonus and everything here. And I'm going to back Matt O'Reilly, honestly. I just think that he's due a big game. Stop pressing the wrong buttons, you dick. I was referring to myself there, by the way. So anyways, that's all the sort of lineup selections, everything done. Chat about it. Wolf, Mbappe, 5 minutes left, 100 grand. Jeez, oh, that's not really entirely unexpected. Though in this climate and everything just now, it's pretty good. That is pretty good. Not done yet either, so there we go. We'll probably end the video at some point soon, then you can go, if you see this, you go and have a look and see what Mbappe ended. That's really interesting. It's good for Sorare as well. I mean, it's the stars will be stars thing. It's great to have PSG back. It's the same own personal opinion on it. I think they've went a bit too far in terms of, the complete segregation. Sorare, one of the best things about it was having all the different leagues, the different teams, being able to play in the All-Star, mix guys from different leagues together, maybe try and win an Mbappe with guys from different leagues. And now, obviously, you will be able to win the cash prizes or the other guys from those leagues, but you might not be able to win Mbappe with the contender guys or whatever, just depends what the special weeklies and stuff are like. So, anyway, I won't go over and over that, but that's what it is. I'm totally enamoured with that. Don't think it's brilliant for Celtic either, obviously, but there we go. Who have been picking up? So, Dylan Levitt picked up 80 quid's just ridiculous for him, I think. 8.22. Been playing a bit better recently. Seen him against Celtic, played pretty well. Griffo, again, 0.25, 600 quid. Super rare, it's a champion super rare. It's in season at the moment. It takes set pieces, takes penalties. Only average 53, but kind of a hit or miss type guy, but he does big scores. Joseph Burzik, played for England at all levels, really. The bad injury this season, but I think he'll be links with back maybe to England Championship or whatever. Mignolet's getting on a bit now as well. I think he's older than Joe Hart, so you just never know. The guy might just chuck it at some point. Stefan Bajic, 30 quid. I mean, he's not playing at the moment in the Championship, but if he gets back in somewhere, it's not going to be 30 quid. Must apologise as well. Actually, on Tuesday, didn't think I was going to get a reward, and I must either got opted or just something random happened because it was projected to be like 160th and squeezed in, and managed to pick up Bardach. Can't even talk tight tonight. Can't talk tight. Big Bardach. See, really good player actually. Pretty good tier 3. He's been injured recently, and pretty happy with that. That's a really good pull. Lucas Bergstrom. Again, I'm trying to pick up some super rares in amongst the sort of goalie punting, and this guy's pretty good. I know him from previously from Ultimate Champions, and he was out in loan and stuff, and he's a really good shot stopper. So I think Chelsea will be looking to get him game time. Hopefully, one of the European leagues or a championship. Look at Philip. I think some talk of maybe him moving on from Hoffenheim. João Virginia, talented young goalkeeper as well. Never know what's going to happen with Everton. Maybe they'll go down if they get these penalties or whatever. Predrag Rajkovic, in season champion goalie for 140 quid, just ridiculous. I mean, there's going to be multiple entries and everything coming soon, and I think the goalie demand will start rising then. Not rising, like rising. Picked up a Zabalos again. Just he's got no knees left at this stage, I think, but poor guy, man. Hope he gets self fit soon. But I was just going through and I was buying Bray because he's the under 23 Argentinian goalkeeper for the Olympics. So fingers crossed he keeps that place. Ended up picking up Figal because I was looking through the collection. It was like 8 quid. Starting defender for Boca. 8 quid. That's just ridiculous. So I think it is definitely at Boca just now. I'm sure it is. He was playing beside Lemma, I'm sure. So 8 quid. That's just bonkers. And it's out of season, but I've got this collection at a few percent here. And Zabalos long term. And then last one to talk about, shout out to SR Monkey. David, give him a shout on Jan Lienard. Played for France under 20s, I think. Some sort of talk he might go out on loan next season, or maybe just a punt might go out on loan next season. Monaco have got Cohen, and they've got Majuki, or whatever you call him, and he's kind of third choice. And if he does go to France League 2, remember under 23 is still in classic mode as well, so it's not really as relevant to have a in-season card. A under 23 super rare should be hugely valuable. Anyway, I've been rabbiting on now for 25 minutes. I did pick my teams first because, just a wee bit of shorter time at the moment, and I also want to make sure I'm getting the right headspace to kind of make good selections. But really pretty poor couple of game weeks. You get that. Doesn't matter how big a gallery you get, how many good players you get shit game weeks, but wanted to do a bit of work in the background and get the teams picked up. But hopefully explained that and highlighted some good fixtures. Anyway, I'm away to see what Mbappe goes for. If you're playing this weekend, will end in customary fashion. Good luck. Go fuck.